Hi, I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel. Today we're installing an ATS thermal control valve. I hate the intros because I don't know what to do with my hands on any of it. So, ATS's thermal control valve. So we just got our 2018 Dodge, got the 68 RFE in it. This is an automatic truck for us that we are trying to educate ourselves as much as we possibly can on the 68 RFE and have one in our hands that we're driving on a daily basis, and to be able to put all of the products out there that the aftermarket has come up with just to strengthen the 68, make it more reliable and all things. So the first product we chose was ATS's thermal bypass valve. We have a link that we're going to put into this video for our unboxing of the ATS thermal bypass valve and show you everything that comes inside of the kit. We'll also put a link in here to where you can purchase an ATS thermal bypass valve. But long story short, the OE thermal bypass block that is on these trucks is thermostatically controlled. So the thermostat stays closed and the transmission recirculates its fluid within itself up to X number of degrees. Then once it gets hot enough, warm enough, it opens up and it flows through the cooler. The problem is that OE block is problematic and it is failure prone. So ATS is one of the companies that has come up with a thermal bypass valve for this. So this will let you have directional flow unimpeded through it from the transmission into the cooler and cooled and then back to the transmission. So it's a quick and easy install. This is not an expensive part. If you guys have got a 68 RFE transmission or a 69 Aisin, we definitely suggest that you do this. Now they offer these from the 13 to 18 trucks as well as the 19 plus trucks. Again, for the 68 RFEs or the Aisin transmissions, either one works both ways. So let's go ahead and get started with our installation. However, a couple of things I want to make mention here. If you're watching this video and you have been at Thoroughbred Diesel's shop and you have borrowed any of our tools, if you have my 20 metric line wrench, I would really appreciate it if you would bring it back to me, because this is the second video that I'm doing working with a line that has a 20 metric fitting on it and I don't have the line wrench. All right, so let's talk about the fittings on this block. So the fittings for the two fittings that are going to come in the ATS thermal bypass valve is the fittings on the OE block that are problematic and prone to leaking. They have an O-ring inside of them. So what ATS does is they just send you new fittings so you can get rid of that problem, replace that fitting, no problem. They send a little piece of literature inside the block that tells you very specifically, only tighten this to 20 inch-pounds, which is barely more than snug, because these are O-ring fittings. Not only do you have an internal O-ring here, you also have an O-ring seal between the block and the fitting as well. So 20 inch-pounds, which is just a little bit more than snug. The fittings that come in the kit go to the portion of the block that has marked with C or for cooler, or the wider portion, that's where these fittings go to. So again, 20 inch-pounds, which is just barely more than snug. You can do it with a inch wrench real quick, just like I'm doing there. Pretty much look at it, and when you can just kind of barely see a sliver of the O-ring, that's plenty tight enough. So we want that done before you get started on your installation. So get your tools together. I'll just use a 1-inch wrench, 20 metric like we were talking about. You're going to need a 13 metric socket to get the bolt off the hold down bracket. You'll also need a pick and some sort of a combination of picks to get the quick connect fitting off there. We're going to talk about this billet nipple that ATS sends you in their kit if you can buy the correct part number. This is for the internal spin-on filter that has the plastic nipple. They melt, they break, they do whatever. This is just a better option for you. This truck's only got 8,000 miles on it, so we're not going to install this nipple today. We're going to put this in our toolbox and we're going to come back and we're going to show you changing that out and upgrading to this in a later video. So now we can get started with our installation. So like we talked about, fluid flow comes in from here. This is a thermostat here. The thermostat is closed normally, or open, however you want to look at it, directing the fluid back out to the transmission. or it's open, allowing the transmission fluid to flow through the cooler and out and back to the transmission. So you can see just how much, I mean, we talked about, you know, the thermostat being a failure point, and it just not a good design. But look how much it really restricts the flow of the fluid. So that's the nice thing about the ATS block is, you know, obviously you don't have this thermostat in here, so you're going to get pretty well direct flow, or much straighter flow directly to the cooler and out of the cooler and back towards the transmission. So this thermostat is really taking up a lot of space in here. But you know, kudos to the engineers that did this. They did some radius cuts here for flow direction on the fluid and getting it where it needs to go. But man, they really just chewed everything up when they put this thermostat in there. But another thing that you'll look at when you see here, you won't know what this is. This little check valve right here, this is in case you have the coolant or the cooler loads up with material and restricts flow back to the transmission. This should open with enough pressure, and that allows transmission fluid to flow back down and back towards the transmission. So it's a little fail-safe. Also opens up, I talked to Clint Cannon on this. He said it also opens up if the fluid becomes starts to gel up in real cold weather, so you're still getting some bypass through there and back to the transmission as well. So, you know, with this cross-sectioned out like this, you can really tell that the fluid travel is very much restricted because of this design, and it's just not a good thing. So the ATS thermal bypass valve, if you're watching this and you just installed it, this shows you why this was a good investment for your rig. All right, so we wanted to show you where this this block is on the truck. Of course, passenger side of the rig, and you've got your two transmission lines coming in, and then these two lines, they're flexible lines that go to the cooler. So transmission fluid from the transmission comes here, goes through the block if the thermostat is open, allows fluid to the cooler, into the cooler, cooled by the air, and then back through the block and back to the transmission. This is you know, easy to do. It's nice to have a pan to catch transmission fluid. 68, you're not going to lose a ton of fluid here, but as always, you know, if you do lose a ton of fluid, you want to make sure that you check the fluid in the truck when you go to restart it, and make sure that you put the proper amount of fluid and the proper type of fluid back into the vehicle when you do it. So there is a little holding bracket up here on your exhaust bracket. It's a 13 metric headed bolt right here. This holds the two cooler lines as well. I don't go ahead and remove that just yet. I actually like to loosen up these back two lines before I do that. And then there's also some prep work that needs to be done on the block itself. These little clip keepers, we're going to move those back. So I really just wanted to show you where it was and kind of what its function is. Now Adam's going to move out and he's going to get set up where he's got a good zoomed in shot on everything that happens on the block for the installation. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go after these plastic covers. The plastic covers, they cover the quick clips that you have that are in these styles of fittings. So, and you'll notice with this being a brand new truck, you're not going to see it here, but if this is leaking on you, this is the reason why that ATS excuse me, includes these fittings. So I'm just going to move these excuse me, plastic guards back just a fuzz. And then that'll give us access to the quick clips. There's just a few things that you've got to do that are kind of like this on this job. They're kind of prep work, and there's a certain way you want to do the steps on it. The white one is always the worst one. I don't know why. It's always the white one. It shouldn't have taken that long. So when you've got both of those clips, next I like to just go ahead and loosen up the back lines, the lines coming from the transmission. So I'll take a 1-inch wrench, or you can put an adjustable on it, however you want to do it. And what I like to do is just go ahead and loosen up these lines. And you don't have to you don't have to leave them full loose. You're just putting enough on them while you've got everything still bolted up that it makes it easier to turn. And then there is a 13 metric bolt in the exhaust hanger that we showed you. You want to go ahead, and I like to just go ahead and remove it, and that gives you enough articulation on the lines to be able to just make this job a little bit easier for you. So we'll buzz that bolt out real quick. And this bolt needs to be about 7 inches longer, and then it'll be perfect. Yeah. Adam had to talk with me before we started this video. Hey, we don't have much wiggle room on the seams here, so don't screw it up by putting your hand in the way. So I wanted to start with that right off the bat. So like I said, that gives you a little bit more articulation and everything. I can catch the quick clip here. I like to go after just the ears of it, just to kind of pop them out. So I can see on this that I'm staring at one of the ears there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop that out like so. And if you lose one of these, it's not that big of a deal because you've got new ones with the ATS, but because I am what you call a hoarder, I like to try to save them because you never know when you're going to need a clip. So we pull the clips out just like so, get them out. The top one is a little bit different, or the top is the same, but it didn't have as quick access to the ears. So I'm going to try to cheat just a little bit here. Start it, then I'll take another pick and get behind it. Pop the clip out just like so. All right, now all that's left is go ahead and loosen up the lines. Make sure you've got your pan underneath of it and ready to go. And if you're like me and you hate automatic transmission fluid, there's a pretty damn good chance you're going to wind up having to take a bath in it. But we're going to hope that we don't. Alright. Those out just like so. And on the quick clip end, go ahead and get that down, get this clear. Now these are O-ring fittings. They have O-ring right direct on the end of them, so when you pull that down, make sure that the O-rings come with it. And then you can just pop this off of the lines. And I say that, and it's pretty well stuck there. That was shot right there. Okay. I was hoping that that would perform better for me, but it's not. So just take a wrench, get between there and the bracket. Had to reorient and get everything here in the shot here. The top line out of the transmission is going to have a little bit more of a leak to it. What you can do is you can take the top from like a differential oil bottle where it's kind of it'll just wedge in there. So now get the valve here in the shot so you can see it a little bit better. The easiest way to get them off when they're tight like this is to grab the holder, and then you just work those lines with the holder back and forth, and eventually that'll break loose inside the block and the top line will kind of spin on out here. And work that back and forth up and down like so, and then that'll get you to where the valve comes out. We want to go ahead and throw our ATS one on here. So again, we've got our fittings in. Notice the orientation. You want the closer sides, the transmission ones, you want those on the downside of this. So we're going to go ahead and clip this on the lines. You can move those back up to where they're not leaking out on you. And we just want to go ahead and Work them back and forth so you have good engagement of the O-rings, and then push them till they clip, just like so. And it's a beautiful Friday here at Thoroughbred Diesel, so I ain't about that wearing that transmission fluid life. So now we're going to go ahead and pull our stopper out of the trans lines and be ready to line everything up. Remember to check for your O-rings on the transmission lines, just like so. And then to keep pressure off of them, just keep working the lines back and forth like so. All right. Once we've done that, probably time to clean it up to where this doesn't look as messy as it is. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to tighten everything up, just like so. Get it cleaned up. We'll get our 1-inch wrench on here, and then our 20 metric, and we'll snug our lines down. No thread tape needed here because again, that is an O-ring fitting coming on the lines coming from the transmission. So we'll just snug them down. Like that. And that, we will put our bolt back in on the bracket, like so. And then go ahead and tighten that up. And you have installed yourself a thermal bypass valve from ATS. We will put our quick connect clips, the little plastic guards, we'll put those back on the lines as well. Get this tightened up here. Okay. Just like working with anything else with ATF, man, you're gonna seem like you never get it all the way cleaned up. And then I'll put my little plastic keepers back on there. There's that. And there's my black one back on. There's that. And there you have it. There is your ATS thermal bypass valve. And you know, we were filming, so we're taking extra precautions of this. This is something that's probably going to take you 10 minutes to do in your driveway. Super, super simple to do. We know that heat is the killer of an automatic transmission. So the first thing that you can do to make it to where you're not going to have an overheat condition is what you need to do. Now you can look inside this valve, and I'm going to try to raise this up here for Adam, and Adam will zoom into it. You can kind of see the little thermostat inside of there. That will open it at its set point, and that'll once it's to X number of degrees, it'll open up and it'll allow full flow into the cooler. If not, it stays closed, and then it's going to recirculate back into your transmission, so that can fail on you. We'll probably cross section that so we can take a look at it. Maybe get it on a bandsaw and cross section it out, but it still impedes the flow of the fluid. So this is definitely a good thing for your truck. If you got a 68 or a 69, I definitely suggest it be the first thing you do to your truck. So I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel. In this video, we're going to link you to where you can buy the ATS thermal bypass valve. We're also going to link you to our unboxing video on it. And yeah, if you got any questions, just let us know. Thanks for watching.